What is up, guys? It's been a while since I've done any videos, and even though I should be in bed by now, the E3 hype / slightly going crazy over trying to figure out what the fuck is going on in Resident Evil 7's demo, I decided, hey, let's finally do that freaking update. I was planning on doing like an update whenever I would get like a game, just do like a quick video saying, hey, here's what I got, or maybe monthly. That was like 2 months ago. Haven't done it, and I've gotten a shit ton of games, so I figured let's just go through them all now. I'll probably stick with the monthly plan, with rare exceptions like collector's editions and limited run games and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess besides that, let's jump into the fray. Just recently, I finally got my first package from Heavy Metal. Or Heavy Arms. I'm totally blank. I think it's Heavy Arms. It's this Malaysian game store who sells English Asian Vita copies. So basically, if you don't know what an English Asian Vita copy is, so take a title like Deception 4, The Nightmare Princess, and everywhere else in the world, it got a digital-only release in English, except in Asia. So these print runs go pretty quickly, go for a lot of money on eBay because most people know that they sell it really quickly. But this place, Heavy Arm, you can follow them on Twitter, is the best way to stay in stock of like when they get stuff in. Most of the games cost around like $35 or so, but you just gotta like, they get like really small stocks. So anything I get that's an English Asian release, 99.9% of the time is probably going to be through them in the future. But yeah, so I got Deception 4. Super big fan of Deception. The first Deception 4, which I don't have physically yet, but it is on the way, so kind of weird. This is like a Toukiden Kiwami situation where it has the entirety of the first one in it. So yeah, I have that. That is a cool one. Next up is a bit of a weird one. Dungeon Travelers 2. Part of me wanted to get this because I like first-person role-playing games and also love Atlas. This game's getting kind of hard to find. Most places selling it online like eBay and Amazon are selling them for like $50 or whatever and stuff. And luckily, though, I was able to find a GameStop that had a new copy. It was only $30. But yeah, I haven't gotten to sink a ton of time into this one, but nice little addition. Dungeon Travelers 2. Censor complaints be damned. Next up is another English Asian release I got. Another Tecmo Koei one. Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires. Physical English Asian copy. I love me some Dynasty Warriors 8. This is actually my first Empires game. I own it on PS4, just like Deception 4. But yeah, I couldn't say no to a Vita version of one of my favorite series. Next up, we have some more Europe games. I have Disney Epic Mickey 2, The Power of Two on Vita. So this is a weird one. So this was released about maybe 6 months to a year after the regular version of Epic Mickey 2 came out. Sony published it. It was developed by Virtual Toys and Blitz. Interesting for the fact that it was paid for by Sony, and there's going to be a trend with this in the future. This was paid for by Sony. Same developer, Virtual Toys, did it. Came out digitally in America. Actually, came out digitally everywhere else, except Europe. Europe's the only place I got it physically. Yeah, it's kind of a cool one. I've been playing that a lot. Really chugs. Definitely not the best port job ever, but I mean, I basically bought up all the Disney or Disney-related games that I didn't own on Vita after Disney Infinity closed, just because I felt bad about Disney Interactive. Next up is one I'm super excited about, because, Jesus, there's this and one other one that goes for a shit ton of money for English Asian copies. Final Fantasy X-2. Not 10-2 remastered, just X-2. Gotta love that awesome art right there. So yeah, English voices and everything, even though it's Asian, still the English copy on the cart, no download. So like my 4 gigs of memory that went to this before, finally gone. I have both games on a physical cart. Really happy about that. Next up, and these are all in alphabetical, not in terms of when I got them. So, the fourth Vita release from Limited Run Games, that wants to zoom in, got Futuridium EP Deluxe. I don't know why I forgot that part was on there. But, so yeah, very cool, kind of minimalistic. It is still in the shrink wrap. To anyone watching this, I keep these in the shrink wrap because, I don't know why, I just kind of do the fact that I have them digitally, and up until now I haven't really had a reason to open them up. I don't ever plan on reselling them. It's just easy way for them to stand out as well. But now that they are starting to, with Zeo Drifters and Sildner X2, they're going to be getting instruction manuals later, and they're going to be getting separate trophy lists. I'm really, really tempted to start opening them up. I just don't know yet. I don't know. Please let me know if you think I should. If I get an overwhelming amount, I'll feel less bad about it. Right now, I'm not at the point where I'm like trying to force myself to. I'm at the point where I want to, but I don't know if that's like the smart thing down the line. Obviously, I know it's a game. Just open it up and play it. Like I don't do this with anything else. Only with the limited run stuff. Fun little side fact. I actually just got the CD for this in the mail as well. Next up, and I bought this one literally just due to the fact that I was bored at work one day. Hyperdimension Neptunia Producing Perfection. Fun little facts about this. One, it was the only Neptunia game I didn't own physically at the time. And what was weird about this was actually my first Neptunian game. I got it for review, and a bunch of people like shat on it. It used to be like $5 at GameStop. Now it kind of goes for like 10, I think. But yeah, if you can find it with a case, it's just like your run-of-the-mill idle simulator. Nothing too amazing, but I had fun with it. Next up is Hot Shots Golf World Invitational. Remember that right? Yeah. Super cheap game. It was a launch game, but if you're a fan of the Hot Shots Golf games, super, super fun. Surprising it's never gone free on PlayStation Plus yet, but hell, we got little deviants, so it's only a matter of time. Next up, and this is a weird one, I'll try not to make too much of a story about this. So this is another Virtual Toys game. It is Looney Tunes Galactic Sports. It was paid for and published by Sony only in Europe. Because I guess something to do with the fact that Warner Brothers doesn't have a branch outside of America in terms of their games. Like, you notice that was stuff like The Witcher 3 was published by Namco in Europe and Spike Chunsoft in Japan. So I'm assuming this is why we don't have it digitally. It's kind of a weird situation, by the way. Even though it's about sports, there's no basketball. I know. It would have been too easy for a Space Jam game. But yeah, it's just like a collection of mini games. There's like golf, fishing, boxing. I don't think there's fishing. I'm really, really tired at the time of recording this. Like a marathon runner. Really simple stuff like this. I picked up for two reasons. One, I like Looney Tunes, and two, it's a weird story, and I feel like this could probably be rare. It's not that bad. Also, the fact that the only way I can play this is by picking it up or making a European PSN account. And I found it pretty cheap. I found it for like $20. I've seen it go for around like $40, $50 online, but it's not too hard to find at the moment. Next up is the most recent Neptunia release, and that is Mega Tag Mention Blanc plus Neptune versus Zombies. This is the reverse cover art. I picked up the special edition. I don't think I did an unboxing of that. Basically is the unofficial sequel to Action Unleashed. Really, really fun kind of beat 'em up made by the Senran Kagura people. Next up is, at least to my knowledge, this is the only video on YouTube that has this. It is the physical English Asian copy of MLB The Show 15. Remember, no download code. This is the actual cart. Like, there's the cart right there. Just to see if it'll even zoom in. But yeah, MLB 15. I don't know why. Like, this might just be like too obscure. The fact that it's a sports game on Vita and it was only in Asia that got it physically released. But yeah, this is really, really hard to find. Like, it's not gone crazy amounts in price, but whenever I do see it for sale, it's very rarely on sale, and when I do, it's like crazy amounts of money. I got into the show on PS4 with like 2014, and plan on picking up the other versions of the show. Ironically, like, this one goes for crazy amounts of money, but the other ones go for like $2-3. Like, sports games don't hold value even on Vita. Man, I really gotta start. I really gotta start blowing through these. Mod Nation Racers. I love Mod Nation Racers. I know this is a bad game, or at least a bad port, or yeah, it's its own thing. It's not port. It was $3 with the case and everything. I thought $3. I'll buy that for my collection. Next up, second to last, Disney game, Muppets Movie Adventure. This is a really weird one. Another virtual toys game. It is a Muppets game that has none of the Muppets voices. The only voice in the game is Jim Henson's daughter, is the narrator. It's a platformer. You go through, like, I think 4 or 5 different movies. They're not, like, themed to anything particularly. It's just run-of-the-mill platformer. I enjoy it. It's like a silly, fun little game. Definitely not the worst game Virtual Toys has ever made. Next up, I have a really long story about this, but I'll make it short for the video. Natural Doctrine, an ESRB-rated copy, North America. Really hard to find. I understand if you find it in your GameStop. I could not find it at any of my GameStops. Everywhere on Amazon, and this is at least as of a month ago, everyone saying they're selling an English copy is lying. It is the PAL copy. The PAL copy and the Asian copies are all worthless. They're like $10. They're nothing. This is like $50. Why? No clue. A lot of people hate this game. I actually really love Natural Doctrine. Really good port. Vita version looks just as good. It's not a very good looking game, but it's a awesome game if you like it. Buddy of mine sent that to me, so big shout outs to him. Either way, next one is our next limited run game. That is Oddworld, new and tasty. The super shiny Spencer needs to take it out of the box edition. Yeah, love Oddworld. Vita version, really good. I always forget the name of the studio who did it. I know it wasn't Just Dead Water. The Wii U, PS3, and Vita version were all done by the same people. Next up is a very recent release. Is Odin Spere Lufthansa. And, yeah, this one I think is going to get rare. I tried to pick it up on Amazon 2 days after release on Vita, and it was all sold out. Didn't show that they were getting any more copies in until, like, July. So, went over to my friend who works at a GameStop, picked it up with the soft cover art book, got the PS4 Collector's Edition in a couple of days. Yeah, like, you think the Collector's Edition doesn't sell out. The Standard Edition, only on Vita. PS3 and PS4, totally fine. Just the Vita. Probably, I mean, honestly, just due to the fact that Atlas doesn't want to make a lot of Vita games, because Vita games are A, expensive, and B, don't sell as well. But hell, they're sold well enough. And last but not least, we have, not in our video, but from the Disney line, Phineas and Ferb, oh god, Day of Doofenshmirtz. Another Virtual Toys game, the last Disney Vita game published. Another one paid for by Sony. Digital only, everywhere else outside of Europe. This one is actually like a 3D, there are 2D platforming sections, but has like 3D like graphics and everything. Looks really good. I really like it. Like, it is the most unoffensively good, not great licensed game I've seen on the Vita. But I will say this, I don't know why. It must just be the fact these budgets are super small. None of their games, like Virtual Toys, with the exception of Epic Mickey, have voices. Or at least a lot. And this one has none. Like they even go out of their way. They have the opening of the show, Phineas and Ferb. The opening is in this game without the lyrics. I'm like, didn't even have to bring anyone in for that. Really weird. Next one is not rare at all, but I picked it up just because I don't own it physically on Vita. Or at least now I do. It's PlayStation Allstars. It's like $10. It's not rare at all. It used to be all over the place in bargain bins when that was a thing for Vita. Next up is a cool little weird one. Picked up Ratchet and Clank Trilogy on Vita. Did not ever come out physically anywhere outside of Europe or Australia, I think. Here is the original cover. I printed my own. I think this is a really boring cover, and it actually, this one, I do not remember the artist's name, but I printed it and whatnot. Fits with all the other Vita ones like God of War and Jak and Daxter and Sly. That kind of like aesthetic they had for a while. Not a crazy expensive game, but I think I paid like 30 bucks for it. Yes, the digital versions of these games are perfect, but the physical version, even though it's very well known and documented, is tons of game-breaking bugs and have never been patched. No idea why, but hey, I own it on a cart. Next up, another English Asian release. Good timing too, because I'm freaking really dying to go through my Resident Evil games again. Resident Evil Revelations 2 on Vita. All episodes and DLC, everything on the cart. Only released in Asia, English. Well, I guess the Japanese version as well might even be the same thing. But yeah, it has English, Japanese, French, Spanish, Italian, German. Tons of stuff on it. Play the port a little bit. Does not, like, gameplay-wise, plays really well. I have not gotten that far into it. Sound and graphics quality-wise, really took a big hit. I'll update probably later. I might do some Resident Evil stuff, but yeah, interesting to have, especially as the only Vita game, probably. Another English Asian release, Samurai Warriors 4-2. Interesting to the fact that I never picked up 4-2 on PS4. Also weird, Samurai Warriors 4 is nowhere to be found on an English version at all. So, that's gonna really weirdly stand out, but hey, at least I got it. Next up, another one that was dirt cheap and is still dirt cheap to this day. Sly Cooper 4, Thieves in Time. Awesome game. Love Senzar. Please make Sly 5 happen. Enough said. Goes for like 10 bucks, 15 bucks. Next up, which is probably the most rare English Asian Vita release of all time, at least as of now, is Soul Sacrifice Delta. I don't know why this one's so rare. I think it's probably because Soul Sacrifice is really popular among Vita owners, and this never got a physical release in English outside of this. And I know, I think actually its last reprint was just recently for this game, so unfortunately, it's just going to get more expensive. Like, I picked it up like base price from Heavy Arms, and whenever they'd still have them, it's about 35 bucks. This I've seen go and people buy them. It's not even like a couple other English ones where people sell them, but they never actually go for that much price. I've seen this go for about 150 to 200. It's really crazy what people are willing to pay for this, but it's an awesome game. We're almost done. Holy crap, I have a lot of Vita games I bought recently. I need to do these more often. Super Monkey Ball, Banana Splits. This is my first Super Monkey Ball I've ever actually owned. I played a ton of them, but never actually owned one. Super awesome. I've not played any of the dumb minigames, but just the straight up Monkey Ball one. It's awesome. Next up here, we'll just do this as a doubleheader. Alright, Toukiden and Toukiden Kiwami. Picked up these. Toukiden, not hard to find at all. Very cheap, awesome game. If you're going to buy it though, buy a Kiwami. It's the same game, but has way more content. Used to be really easy to find. Like, GameStop was like selling for like 10 bucks. Now, I guess after everyone bought them all up, now all that's left are like $40 copies, and I could not find any near me GameStop wise. So I had to like call around a bunch of different stores and have them ship them over to GameStops near me. What did I pay? I think I paid like 25 bucks for this maybe, but yeah. Everyone online is selling the English copies for like 40 bucks now, so that kind of sucks. But it's an awesome game. Hopefully we get a physical release in the west of Toukiden 2. Had Season 1 of The Walking Dead on last video, now we have Season 2. Have not played it, but hey, we have it. Wipeout 2048, another launch game, another awesome game. Love Wipeout. It's probably like my favorite, tied with like HD, but can actually, well, I guess yeah, if it's tied for HD, it has all of HD on it if you bought HD. So yes, this is the best Wipeout, and it's super cheap. And last but not least, for reals this time, Jesus, how is this video almost 20 minutes long? The Wolf Among Us. I have not played this one yet, unlike The Walking Dead. I need to get around to it. I'm very excited. Hopefully it's another easy platinum. Worst case scenario, I liked what I played of episode 1 so far. But yeah, that's about it. Let me know if you guys liked my stuff, if you hated my stuff, if you want to recommend getting stuff in the future. I have a couple, actually not a couple, I have probably like 5 or even probably more Vita games coming this month. I would talk about what they are, but this video is almost going for 20 minutes, and I need to wake up in like 5 hours for a Persona live stream. So, happy E3, thank you for watching this video. I will try and do more regularly, and as I'm looking at the camera, Jesus, I look like I'm about to pass out. So, have a good E3, Have an awesome time making fun of my dumb videos, and have a good night.